So you're starting a business. That's awesome. But one of the first and biggest questions you've got to answer is where? Today, we're going to zero in on the Peach State, Georgia. Let's dig into exactly what it takes and, more importantly, what it really costs to set up your LLC there.
Yeah, this is the million-dollar question, right? It's not just about picking a spot on the map. It's this delicate balance between what it costs, how much privacy you get, and whether it's the right vibe for your business to grow. So over the next 2 minutes, we are going to break down all the numbers and the trade-offs so you can make the right call.
All right, so what's Georgia's whole deal? I mean, it's got this long history, one of the original 13 colonies, but today it's a huge business hub. The question is, does that reputation actually hold up for a brand new founder like you? Well, let's start where it always starts, the money.
Yep, for any of us starting something new, it all comes down to the bottom line. So before we get into all the good and the bad, let's just look at the hard numbers. What's it going to cost you to get off the ground in Georgia? Okay, first up, the one-time fee to get in the door. To file those official papers, what they call the Articles of Organization, Georgia's going to charge you $105. Honestly, that's a pretty competitive number. Puts it right in the sweet spot compared to a lot of other states. And what about keeping the lights on year after year? Well, to keep your LLC in good standing, you're looking at a $55 annual report fee. And that's it. Seriously, just $55 a year. That makes Georgia one of the most affordable states out there for long-term maintenance, for sure.
All right, so check. Georgia is definitely affordable. We got that. But listen, the price tag never tells the whole story, does it? Now it's time to really get into it, weigh the good against the bad and see what the full picture looks like. And here it is. This is the core trade-off you have to think about. On the plus side, you've got those super low fees we just talked about, and you might get access to some cool business incentives and tax credits. But, and this is a big but, on the other side, there's a major privacy issue. Your name, your address, it all becomes public record. And on top of that, if you want a doing business as name, a DBA, you literally have to pay a local newspaper to publish it. That can be an unpredictable and kind of annoying extra cost. So it really boils down to this one crucial point. Are you willing to trade privacy for affordability? I mean, Georgia is really cheap, but it comes at the price of your anonymity. For some of you, that's no big deal at all, but for others, that's an absolute deal breaker. And that, right there, is the decision you have to make. Now, the good news is you don't have to figure all this out by yourself. You're actually required to have what's called a registered agent. That's just an official contact for any legal mail. And honestly, the easiest way to do this is to just use a formation service. The options are pretty interesting too. You've got services like Busy or Business Rocket that'll file the paperwork for free. You just pay the state fee. Then you've got others like Better Legal that offer these bigger, all-in-one packages for a higher price. Okay, we've looked at the cost. We've looked at that big trade-off between price and privacy. So let's tie it all together. Let's figure out if the profile of a perfect Georgia founder sounds a lot like you.
So who is Georgia a great fit for? Well, the picture is pretty clear. It's a fantastic choice if your number one priority is keeping those initial and ongoing costs as low as humanly possible. It's an even better choice if your business can actually take advantage of those state-specific tax credits or enterprise zones. But you absolutely have to be okay with your business info being out there for anyone to see. And you got to be prepared for those potential extra costs for publishing a DBA. If you can nod your head to all of that, then yeah, Georgia might just be the perfect home for your business.
Okay, so let's say you've decided Georgia's the one. Awesome. But picking the state, that's really just the first step on the ladder. What you do next is just as important for getting off to a strong start. And really, the whole idea behind this explainer is pretty simple. It's captured perfectly in this quote from StartupSole.com. We believe every entrepreneur everywhere deserves access to this critical data. It's all about giving you the tools and the info you need to make the smartest decisions for your company. So what does that path forward actually look like? Well, first, it's about getting the full data picture, right? So you can compare Georgia with other states. Then you've got to dive deep and compare those registered agent services to find the one that's the right partner for you. It's all about making that final decision with total confidence, knowing you've seen all the facts. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. You don't want to leave something this important up to guesswork. The best decisions are always the ones you make when you have all the data in front of you. So, to get that complete side-by-side comparison of states, of registered agents, of all of it, head on over to n.startupsole.com.
It's all laid out there to give you the clarity you need to launch your business with confidence. I really hope this breakdown helped you out.